Here we go, man. It's good stuff.
That's really freaking good.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hot Topics, where we talk about movies and beer.
And beer.
My name is Matthew.
And I'm Cameron.
And today we're talking about the Joker.
Joker. Just Joker. He's not the Joker.
Okay. Joker.
Just Joker.
Joker. Whatever. We're also talking about another one of our local beers.
Institutions.
Imperial Restraint.
Imperial Restraint.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you add that extra I, it's double the eyes.
Yep. It's it's a tasty
That's
one.
damn tasty.
But,
that's all I'm going to say until we get to the beer review.
Exactly. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Right now we got to talk about the movie.
And,
Dave, let's give a general synopsis of the movie.
A man going through therapy is having a lot of hard times. He ends up being beat up by a bunch of kids, and hence has one thing thrown after him after another, and he ends up becoming more and more drawn into his psychosis, which leads him to becoming Joker, essentially.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
That is pretty much it. Going into this movie, what were your expectations? I mean, we knew that the director. I think it's Todd Phillips.
Yes, Todd Phillips.
He directed the Hangover movies.
Yep.
Nothing else of note.
Not really.
And then we also knew that Joaquin Phoenix was playing the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
We knew Martin Scorsese was a producer on the film.
Mm-hmm.
So, knowing all that, what were your expectations going into this movie?
Even from the very beginning, like when it was first announced, I did not have high hopes for this movie. The first trailer did not help that. Even the teaser stuff, it didn't help the fact that, it just did not seem like it was going to be a good movie. Joaquin Phoenix is a magnificent actor, don't get me wrong. He's great. Martin Scorsese, great director. I would have him direct multiple great movies, but I mean, it's when you're taking a character of this magnitude, it's really hard to get it right. It took me till the second trailer that they came out with, which gave a little bit more, but not too much, that I actually started to expect really, really good things. I thought it was going to be a good movie. And then I was all on board. I was like, all right, it's probably going to be a good movie. I mean, I have high hopes. So, what about you, man? What do you think?
Dave, I was more or less on the same train of thought as you when looking at the first trailer was, dude, isn't Martin Scorsese part of this? Isn't Joaquin Phoenix a good actor? Isn't this the Joker?
Yeah.
Why does it seem so, paling in comparison to every other recent Joker anything? Even comparing it to Jared Leto's Joker, it's you don't feel like you're getting any sort of mythos to the character. You're not feeling like you're getting a whole lot to the character.
Sure.
The second trailer came out and boom, turn that all around.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing different aspects of the character throughout the film.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the only thing cutting shy of is who he eventually becomes at the end of the movie.
Yeah, which is a very big difference between a lot of Warner Brothers trailers. They like to give away the ending.
Yeah,
right away.
They like to show a little too much in their trailers, and that's always super frustrating. Not that their movies are that good
to begin with, but I mean, you want to go into the movie. You want to go into the movie not really knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Not going into the movie and all right.
I don't want to know Batman vs Superman ends with a half-ass version of Doomsday.
Yeah.
But they show it right there in the trailer, and there goes the mystery.
Yep.
I thought it was going to be when it was announced, I thought it was going to be like a friggin' Lex Luthor pitting them together and making them fight each other in order, and then uncovering a plot by Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Which would have been more comic book accurate, and would have been more realistic, and would have been more entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I like how the most generic storyline would have been the better storyline.
Also, Jesse Eisenberg was a terrible Lex Luthor.
Oh, yeah. He would have been a much better Riddler.
Much better.
But, I mean,
But anyway.
Well, we haven't gone over it on this channel, but I'm sure as we cover more DC
it's going to eventually happen.
movies, we'll talk about it. But, yeah, Joker... expectations at first were, kind of mid. Like, I still knew Martin Scorsese was a producer on it. I still knew that Joaquin Phoenix is a fantastic actor. He's a method actor. He gets really into his characters, much like Heath Ledger did when he played Joker for The Dark Knight.
Yep.
So, while the first trailer kind of quelled my expectations, the second trailer kind of elevated them beyond my expectations. And I feel like this movie did a pretty decent job of, kind of conveying those expectations.
Yeah, definitely.
But, without getting into it too much, we'll do that after we rate the movie and talk about the beer.
Mm-hmm.
What's your overall rating for this? Like, are we gonna see it in theaters? Do we want to wait for it on DVD, or do we want to try and see it for free or pirate it? Or
Definitely go.
Just miss it altogether.
Definitely go see it in theaters. Like, there's you really don't waste your money going to see this movie in the theaters. You really don't. It's a really in-depth movie that addresses multiple topics, and it's just really well done. You need to see this in theaters. Yeah, it's definitely going to see this in the theaters, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm a little on the fence about going to see it in theaters overall, because we're big Batman fans.
Yeah,
we know a lot of the source material. We've done this time and time again.
Yep.
So, we've kind of learned what to expect, but even this movie kind of threw us for a bit of a loop in certain parts.
Certain parts, yeah.
But, yeah, I would say if you are into the Joker, but not in the most comic book way, it's hard to explain. If you like movies to be more of a dramatic act and to be more of a movie, this is not a superhero blockbuster movie.
No.
This is far from it. If
Yep.
you're expecting that, don't go see it in theaters.
Yeah, no.
Wait until it comes out on DVD, because you're going to be disappointed in theaters. But if you're looking for a character piece, if you're looking for something that delves into the psyche of a character, I absolutely recommend seeing this in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, absolutely. Just freaking see it in theaters. Just go see it in the movie.
Yeah, just go see it in the
movie.
It's a great movie.
It's not gonna falter on the hinge of whether you do or do not see it. It's gonna make a bunch of money.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I mean it's been number one in the box office for this week, and most likely will be for this week.
Probably
this
for the next couple of weeks too.
Yeah.
Had a lot of big hitters coming out in the next couple of weeks.
The Addams Family might put up a challenge this week, but I still think I think it'll be Joker 1, Addams Family 2.
I do have to point out that a lot of the people that have seen this movie opening weekend have noticed people walking out within the first 30 to 45 minutes of the movie. And
which is dumb, by the way.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's dumb, but it just kind of shows that it's a real movie. It's not a superhero movie. It's not a jam-packed CGI action, over the top.
No, everything's very
sort of movie. It's a very down-to-earth, character-driven, mentally taxing movie.
Yep.
It really, there's a lot of difficult situations in this movie, and, a lot of people that watch this might even feel empathy towards the character for certain situations that happen to them. Now, honestly, nobody's going to put themselves in the shoes of the Joker.
Yeah.
Because then they're just psychopaths. But, we can all relate to certain situations that he goes through.
Yep.
But, enough about that. Let's talk about beer, because
Beer.
we've been drinking this beer, and this, oh my god, this is fantastic.
I told you.
Oh my god, this is, I want to freeze it in the winter and skate on it, and then melt it in the springtime and drink it.
It's so bomb. It is so good. It's like...
Don't expect that to be the last time you hear that line out of the way.
No, it's going to happen again.
Beer Fest is the next video that we're doing, presumably.
Yeah.
We're not very good at schedules.
No.
But anyways, this is the Imperial Restraint. It's made by Institution Brewing Company, and Imperial Brown Ale with vanilla and coffee. And man, do you get that vanilla and coffee? Like, brown ale be damned. It might as well be like a porter or like a light stout.
Pretty much, yeah.
This thing is just bursting with flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 10.1% alcohol. And, man, every time you take a sip of it, it just keeps coming. It's just coffee, vanilla. It's like you took the heaviest beer you've ever had in your life and you poured vanilla creamer into it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, but it's all just beer.
Yep.
It's all beer, and it's so good. I love this. I'm so glad you suggested this, because, I want to drink some more right now.
Yeah, I've had this before. It is super easy to drink. It's super smooth. You get that coffee flavor, and then the vanilla comes in. It just... It's like it's really like drinking vanilla coffee from like a good coffee place. It's just
like a cold
wonderful.
brew.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like a cold brew, or
it's super flavorful.
Iced coffee. Flavorful. It's like it's coffee with vanilla poured over it and a lot of alcohol included.
Yes. I mean, that's the benefit of doing this.
But
I mean, like, it's just super flavorful and, like, super easy to drink. It's super smooth. It's, like, you don't get any harshness while you're drinking it. It's just super easy to drink.
Super smooth.
It's just
like,
great.
For a dark beer, this thing really... I mean, man, you can slug down a couple of these before you realize that it's hitting you. And at 10.1%, it's gonna hit you.
It's gonna, yeah. That's definitely true. It's gonna hit you. There's no doubt about that. It's gonna happen.
And then not only that, but, I mean...
The artwork.
You can't really see it too well on here, but, I mean, damn. It's very subtle. It's not as flashy as a lot of Institution's other artwork. But, man, the guy who does her art knocks it out of the park every single time. My shirt. This is another Institution beer. I've worn this before on the channel. Just happenstance. I don't plan out my shirts.
I try not to wear the same shirt.
I try not to, but, at the same time I also don't really care.
Sure.
But, like, Vacancy.
That was a good beer, too.
That was a great beer.
But,
anyways, Institution, if you are at all interested in this beer, you're local to the Ventura County area.
Highly recommend.
Highly recommend. Yeah. Just off of the Lewis exit.
Yeah, dude,
Flynn. Either one, Flynn or Lewis.
Yeah, either one.
You can get to this brewery. They are fantastic. Great space.
Super nice.
They do a lot of events.
Yep.
I think they're doing an Oktoberfest event, which I'm highly considering not going to work for. But
on Saturday?
Maybe.
We'll see.
We can't both take the day off.
No.
Kind of like the shoehorns in the store.
Yeah.
But anyways. Yeah, Institution. Imperial Restraint. Frackin' delicious.
Yep. Definitely.
I only say frackin' because I don't know if Matt's learned how to edit beeps into the commentary yet.
Working on it.
Yeah, he's working on it. Don't push us. We're working on it. Come on.
We do stuff.
Yeah, we
But
got
yeah,
lives.
I'd definitely say, what would you rate this, man?
This is a 5 out of 5. And I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've rated a beer 5 out of 5. This is a 5 out of 5 imaginary down the hall girlfriends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd definitely give this a 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5 potential, like, future Batmans.
Alright, I can dig it. I can dig it.
Yep.
Now, we get into our spoiler review.
Yes, so, as you know, here comes the spoilers. So, here's your spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning. If you do not want to know what happens in this movie beyond this point, just, pause it. Come back. Hopefully, please come back. Watch the rest of the video.
Please.
I feel like we have some input on what's going on. I feel like that's the only reason you're watching these videos. Unless, you're a friend and you're just watching these videos out of
pity.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes.
But anyways,
Spoiler warning.
Kanpai!
Cheers.
This is not a chugging beer.
Oh God, no. Not at all. Oh.
Now, I've drank a little bit more than he has, but that's not totally indicative of how far his glass is up. Mine's a lot wider.
Yeah. Mine might be a little bit higher than his. Might be right
It's
about there.
almost the same height. You might have like a couple centimeters.
Yeah, I'd probably be right about there.
You'd be maybe about there.
Yeah. But anyway,
Gulp or two.
so this movie dives into different psychoses and mental illnesses really quickly. It's very apparent. He hands the lady on the bus a card saying that he has a condition which causes him to laugh.
So that's alright. Right off the bat, sorry to interrupt you. I know you're talking about psychosis and mental illness and everything, but right off the bat, that's one of the early things that this movie establishes is that the Joker's laugh isn't just him laughing at people. It's actually a condition
It's
that he
actually
has.
a condition, which is a real condition, by the way.
It's a real life condition, and whenever he gets anxiety or is incredibly nervous
or
super uncomfortable, it's usually it's an anxiety trigger.
Mm-hmm.
He starts laughing uncontrollably.
Yep.
And he has a card immediately for this sort of situation where, when he starts laughing uncontrollably, he can pull this out and give it to somebody.
It explains
his condition, why he's laughing, even though it's a serious, scenario.
Yeah.
And so he's able to, kind of circumvent some situations for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're talking about his mom has narcissism and she has something else where isn't it that delusional? She is delusional.
Yeah, she's delusional. And she
narcissism.
projects narcissism.
Yes.
It's she projects narcissism on Thomas Wayne.
Thomas Wayne, who she says
she says is the father of her adopted son.
Yeah.
And so right away we're given a very ambiguous origin to what Arthur Fleck, where he actually came from. Because on the one hand, they're implying that Arthur Fleck, Joker, is the son of Thomas Wayne, therefore the half-brother of Bruce Wayne, and kind of setting that up to be the inciting conflict between Joker and Batman. But at the same time, we're shown adoption papers
and like all the like different interviews that she had while she was in Arkham Asylum, saying like she actually had her the boyfriend at the time beat her adopted son while he was handcuffed to a radiator.
Yeah, no, he was an abused child.
Yep.
That he was an abused child. And his mother would never step in to help him, and
she just let it happen.
She would just let it happen because he was always such a happy boy.
Yeah,
no matter what happened to him, he was always such a happy boy, and that could mess up anybody.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like that, and that put a big old huge psychosis break in the child because he's supposed to be happy all the time, but everything around him is crumbling.
Everything around him is crumbling, and he even says this. He even says this to his psychiatrist. He's like, "All I have
are negative thoughts,"
and this is that was shortly before.
That was
incident.
That was before.
Yeah. Really, what we can see is that
you definitely see everything for Joaquin Phoenix's character just completely fall apart. You see this man completely broken down by his surroundings and everything.
See,
it's completely breaking. Until
he fights
back.
It's almost the serial killer checklist.
Yeah.
Because going into this movie, I'm watching it and I'm kind of seeing those checklist sort of responses. He loses his job. Oh, his mother dies. Oh, this happens, and he's humiliated, and you kind of feel like it's almost formulaic,
Well, that and
they're pushing a thing on him that's just it. You feel like they're almost trying to make the Joker generic.
Not
everything that he experiences is just one of those things. Now they obviously add over the overtones of his psychosis, his mental illness, and his abuse problems. But do those yours? Alright, whatever. I'm not gonna turn down.
Yes, but I mean, they also make it seem it builds upon itself. He's not just one thing happens. It's multiple things happening on top of things. It's just it's more adding more and more to his psychosis, which ties into why he feels the way he does about other people and society in general.
Scorsese is tied to this as a producer, and I'm pretty sure he had not so much a heavy hand, but he definitely dipped his hands into this movie because this totally, almost exactly.
Bless you. Bless you.
Anyways, almost totally mirrors Taxi Driver.
Yes.
Taxi Driver, you have this downtrodden guy who's a taxi driver and is beaten down into the scenario of acting the vigilante.
Yep.
And there's a lot of parallels to that, at least in the early part of the movie, where he continuously gets beaten down and has different illusions and continuously references fake scenarios, like himself on Murray's show.
Yep.
Which, you watch that and you're like, oh, did this happen? And it's like, no, it didn't happen. It's just another, far gone fantasy of Arthur.
Yep.
And then we get the comedy club where he first tries to do stand-up comedy, and he's so nervous that he has all of his nervous tics.
Yep.
Where
Everything happens, yep.
He laughs continuously. And then those clips are shown on Murray's show, and instead of being something that would bring him up, it's something that totally tears him down.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, exactly. There are definitely a lot of parallels between this and Taxi Driver. I mean, there have already been people saying that there are parallels between the two movies, and it really is apparent. I mean, both deal with mental illness and psychosis, which is
the biggest difference I can see between Arthur Fleck and
Robert De Niro's character.
What's his name?
I don't remember. I keep thinking of.
I can't remember his name. The Taxi Driver, because we're too dumb to remember his freaking name. I haven't seen that movie since fucking early 2000s, so.
Yeah, I keep thinking of Cape Fear.
Anyways,
which is another De Niro character
the
who
big
was
difference
completely
between
insane.
those characters is that right off the bat, we have Arthur Fleck, who is socially already not normal, and he's already looked down on and can't pass as a normal person just walking down the street. Whereas in Taxi Driver, Robert De Niro's character can just be a normal dude. You know?
Exactly. He plays off.
Acts like a regular dude in New York. There's no really any sort of weirdness to his character.
True.
Now, my favorite part about Arthur Fleck going through the movie is that, I'll say initially, the initial breakdowns seemed very serial killer formula kind of building up to something.
True, definitely.
But we go from the first act where he's just downtrodden, just beat up, he's less than nothing, and he has this, mental problems. He's got this tic that causes him to laugh at things. Yep. He's at the comedy club, and the comedian would tell a joke, and then everybody would laugh, and then he'd be delayed.
He'd be delayed, yeah.
And then he would start laughing just out of nowhere. Like he didn't really understand the context of the joke. He just continued laughing after everybody else. Like, he didn't understand actual humor.
Yeah.
And then you see his notebook. He's like, sexy joke makes people laugh.
Yeah. A lot of his there was snippets of magazines, and there were newspaper clippings, and there was a lot of scribbles in there. It was not the typical notebook of not at all. It was a sane person.
It was literally the notebook of a mentally insane person.
Oh, definitely, yes. I mean, and this is another reason why in therapy they ask you to keep a journal, and write things down, express your feelings, write stuff down like that, because they can read your reactions, essentially get into your mind and try and help you through whatever it is you're going through, and the therapist takes a look through 3 pages, sees one line, and that's
just
it.
because it's bolded out, because he scribbled it out so darkly,
but it was still a funny joke. I hope my death makes more sense, like the change sense, than it did in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was a funny joke. Like
it's dark.
It's dark.
It's certainly dark.
Oh, it's definitely dark. But I mean, it's definitely like a good joke.
In the right context, he tells a joke where he's all like, nobody ever thought I'd be a stand-up comedian, but nobody's laughing now. And like in the right scenario, that would be that would be hilarious.
Yeah, but the bar is
silent because he had already come out laughing hysterically.
Yeah. And they don't understand. They don't. Which is a parallel for most society, that most society does not understand mental illness. They think that mental illness is a thing that doesn't happen to everybody. But everybody has something wrong. There is something wrong with everybody.
Totally.
Everybody has something to deal with. You don't know what people are dealing with. It's just something that people deal with. A lot of times they need help with. They just don't know how. They don't know how, or they don't want to, they don't want to burden other people with their problems. They see it as a burden to them, and they don't want to burden anybody else with. They want to just make sure it's their problem, and they want to deal with it themselves, but they end up hurting other people in that same manner, which happens when he ends up shooting those three guys in
Which
Subway.
Is the big turning point for the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about the 3 acts of this movie. Let's get into that because the first act is you have Arthur Fleck, and he's a downtrodden, mentally disturbed person that is just trying to make his way. And he has a condition, and he's trying to take care of his mother, and which is admittedly the slowest part of the movie. Mm-hmm. Like the beginning of the movie, it just kind of drags.
I mean,
and analyzing the movie itself. It just kind of drags.
Well, I mean, because you're trying to they're trying to establish characters at that point. They're trying to get you connected with these characters, which is fine. That's what Act 1 is for. Yeah. Which moves into Act 2 after he gets beaten up and cut, and then he gets fired,
and he shoots the 3 Wall Street men.
Act 2 when he shoots the 3 Wall Street guys, and that's when he realizes nothing is going to get done unless you do it yourself, which is good in a way, but also bad in a way because he's not going about it the right way.
Yeah, but that
triggers
in and of itself starts a citywide revolution. It starts basically a strike against the city government.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's already a trash strike going on where, trash is being built up around the neighborhood.
Everywhere. It's terrible.
Because garbage people are on strike.
Yep.
And this goes on, and, Arthur, having killed those men, who happened to be 3 wealthy Wall Street individuals,
who are assholes, by the way. They were were not good people.
Yeah, no, not.
But society, but the news and society didn't see him that way. They saw him as 3 upstanding Wall Street
young men.
Yeah, exactly.
But you look on it and the perspective of the downtrodden, and they were 3 men that were willing to abuse a woman and attack an unarmed citizen.
There's 2 sides to every story. You have to get information from both sides in order to get the full story. If you don't have the full story, you only have part, and you only have a partial judgment on something. You cannot make a partial judgment on anything because you don't have the full amount of information.
Yeah.
And when you make a when you don't do that, you make a rash decision.
Yeah. So.
Sorry. Kind of threw you off there, didn't I?
It was more of a tangent.
Anyway, so like.
Anyways,
so like the anarchy starts to grow more and more. Like it's like happening. Like the people that are like in the lower class are still are trying to make an uprising towards the upper middle and upper class people to try and essentially bring them down.
Yeah.
To make them understand what's going on with them. The upper class is basically laughing in their face the entire time it's happening.
See, so what I see from this movie is that it's a big point out that, like we have Thomas Wayne,
mm-hmm.
who's running for mayor of the city, because he says he knows what's best for the lower class. And then we have the lower class fighting against the upper class because they're not doing anything to correct the problems in the city as it is. It's like, it doesn't matter who's mayor.
Yeah, no,
it's a matter of who's going to actually take care of the problems. Like, who's going to end this garbage strike? Who's going to actually pick up
who's going to end
all this crap from our streets?
Who's going to start
who's
more jobs?
Who's actually going to instate a measure of law that's going to cut down the crime? And this is the foundation that they're trying to seed for the Batman origin story.
Yep.
Like, this is not a Batman movie.
No, it's not. By any means.
By far, it is not a Batman movie. But we do see some Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
We do see the origins of Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
We do see his parents killed. Mm-hmm. But it's taken slightly
it's
different context.
It's definitely secondary towards the overall Joker story. Which, by the way, this movie is set in 1981.
1981. Yeah. I have to tell you,
a lot of people were confused on that because of the whole, like, black and white movies and, like, the whole, like, TV
they
did
showcase Charlie Chaplin.
But the movie
is
set in 1981. I know that only because the movie that they saw for the movie that the Waynes saw.
Yeah.
Zora the Gay Blade came out in 1981. Which is a funny movie.
It was originally supposed to be one of the other Zorro
movies. It's supposed to be another Zorro movie, but like this one was
supposed to show the origins of Batman.
Yeah.
But they changed it to the Gay Blade because of the timeline, and also because of the ridiculousness of it.
Well, yeah, that too, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that movie's so funny.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
it's like when he carves a Z into the tree. He's like, "That's a symbol," and
it is
that
a 2.
guy just like,
it is a number 2.
What?
It is a number 2.
But anyways, I wanted to talk about how. So there's 3 acts to most movies, and Act 1 is supposed to establish, the motivations of the character.
Yes.
And we do get that.
He wants to be noticed. He wants to be recognized as a person.
Yeah. It's also kind of scattered. It's not like super direct. And then we get Act 2 when, after he kills the Wall Street guys, he starts to feel empowered.
Mm-hmm.
He starts to stop doubting himself. He starts to come out a little bit more. But that also brings out the full-on fucking psychopath of his character.
Yep.
And then Act 3, which is hands down, the end of this movie is the absolute best part of this movie.
Oh, seriously, the end of this movie is so great.
Once he becomes the Joker,
yeah,
it just takes on a whole new life. The whole scene when he's on Murray's show, my heart was pounding. Like,
Seriously,
everything that was going on there.
You see his plan earlier before he goes on. Like he's playing like he's gonna shoot
playing
himself.
the knock joke, and he's like gonna shoot himself.
Yeah, but like during the whole like Murray part, you're like, is he actually gonna do this?
Is
like,
he gonna do this?
What's gonna
when's the knock joke gonna come?
Exactly.
And then they do the
knock joke,
and nothing happens.
Nothing happens. And you're like, okay,
but then,
right.
then it escalates, and he keeps asking, like, is this political? Is this something? Or
yeah, because no,
it's not political.
No, it's not political.
I don't
believe
care.
in anything. I don't care.
Believe in anything. He's a nihilist.
Yeah,
he's a nihilist.
He
wants justice for himself, and he doesn't care about anything else.
Yep.
And
and then
he kills him.
Yeah.
Straight up.
And then
right in his face, and just freaking pulls a gun out, blasts Robert De Niro's head right off, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like,
and then he's carted out by the police, stopped by a rogue ambulance, and then he stands in the middle of like a clown crowd.
Yeah.
Dances.
It's a clown crowd. It's a mob.
Crowd that dances, and
it's
like
the mob of a mob doing just a riot.
Yeah, because the riot started after that happened.
Yeah. Well, the riot started before that, or like as it happened.
As it happened.
But that was an inciting incident.
That was the definite
escalated the mob
to target everything.
Anything.
Yep. Yeah, and that's when we get the shot of like the Wayne family going down the alley, getting shot, Thomas Wayne dying, Martha Wayne dying, and Bruce Wayne just standing there with his parents dead.
Yeah.
Which again is why it triggered him like into becoming Batman. Which is also part of an origin story of like why Batman doesn't like clowns. That was an origin. That's an older origin story for that. There's a bunch of them like. But yeah, like Act 3. Act 3 is the by far the most exciting
by
part
and
of
far.
the entire movie.
It's where Joker comes into his own and
definitely
stops caring and just incites anarchy.
You essentially see the character for the character in Act 3 at the very beginning, from the very beginning of Act 3 to the end.
And it's like
perfect.
Oh, how did Joker build his army? Well, he just did what he did, and everybody flocked to him.
Yeah,
everybody came up to him. He was a champion of the poor and the downtrodden. And
which I mean, was kind of the same thing that Hitler did during like before World War II. Like he became he was a chancellor, and then he became like higher than he just basically rose up the ranks and became a champion of the people. And then he's like, yeah, it's because of these people that this happened.
Oh, by the way,
like by doing like he manipulated the people into doing these things.
Yeah.
And
that's how I can see this Joker moving on to further Batman series.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this Joker could be just a one-off. This would be a great tale. Like, the beginning was kind of weak, but, man, the finish was so good. Strong and so good.
I think that this one will be a one-off, definitely.
I kind of hope it is.
I hope so too. Judging by the way that Scorsese is, I don't think they'll do another one.
Well, I mean, Scorsese was only a producer, so it really depends upon Todd Phillips.
Yeah, but at the same time, Todd Phillips will agree with Scorsese because Scorsese knows what he's doing. Todd Phillips doesn't
Scorsese's
so much.
Freaking mastermind of cinema.
Exactly. I mean, that's why like Scorsese, what Scorsese says usually goes.
Yeah.
Whatever the Academy says, despite whatever the Academy says, he should have won for Goodfellas. Damn it!
No matter what, good or bad, the movie.
This is
Joaquin Phoenix. At least deserves a nod.
Oh, definitely.
He deserves a nomination for.
He'll definitely get a nomination. I don't know if he'll win an Academy Award. Yeah. I'd be surprised if he. I'd really be surprised if he didn't. I mean, he was that good in this role.
He really was.
He really. I mean, he was. Like everything from the mental tics, the psychosis, the
beating a man's head against the wall.
The subtle hints you get, like the subtle tics, like that he does. Everything was perfectly done.
Yeah,
like
it was super well.
I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't like Leonardo DiCaprio eating a liver from a buffalo, but it was damn near close.
I gotta say, Joaquin Phoenix does a great job as the Joker.
Oh yeah.
Now,
I definitely.
I like Heath Ledger better, but that doesn't take away from the fact that Joaquin Phoenix did something that a lot of actors would struggle to do, is portray a troubled man turning into the Joker. Like, where Heath Ledger was so magnificent was that we never knew where he came from.
Yeah. Which is another thing.
He told the different stories about his scars. Every single time he talked about his scars, it was something different. And he had the mythos of the Joker. He had the, you don't know where he came from. Mm-hmm. Was he a veteran that got displaced? Was he, just a fucking psychopath?
Well, was he just a normal factory worker that got fired and then eventually became the Joker after botched robbery, which is the Red Hood origin, by the way.
Yeah.
If you didn't already know that. I mean, there are a lot of origin stories, and again, the Joker himself, and actually, even in the comics, doesn't even know his own
before Joker came out. DC actually released a storyline that entailed the origins of Joker.
Yes.
But I feel like that totally goes against Joker as a whole.
I mean,
because I feel like Joker should be a mysterious entity. I feel like this telling that Scorsese and Todd Phillips have come up with is just another tale of how the Joker became who he is.
Yeah.
And I really like it. I really like that final act. The early parts of the movie were so-so, but man, that final act when he goes on the talk show, he introduces himself as a Joker, when he freaking kills Murray, when he does all that stuff, it was so just perfectly Joker.
Yeah.
And when he grabs the camera, just put a and then they cut it off.
That's life.
Dude, that's life.
Yeah.
And it was so perfect. And it set up such a perfect... this is not supposed to be a happy ending.
Oh, no. No, by far, no.
This is not a happy ending story. This is the inciting incident to create somebody like Batman.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
this is something that creates somebody that would put on a freaking cowl and cape and body armor
in order to
fight crime.
In order to fight somebody that's in clown paint to hide the fact that he's a damaged person. Okay, so one thing I wanted to hit before we end is the Joker has many different origins, even in the comics. For the most part, we have films. We have no idea where his origin is. Nobody does. Even the Joker doesn't even know what his real identity is.
Yeah.
He establishes that he doesn't know, which I think that he is a conduit for the multiverse that is DC. he doesn't know his own origin because he has all different origins filtering through his mind constantly, which feeds his psychosis, and which is why we also get different crimes or different ways that he's attacking or fighting Batman. Like it just hits so many different spots because you have the Jack Nicholson one. Which is a good establishment for the I'd say the Silver Age.
It's the gangster motif where it's
which is more
focusing on more takeover kind of stuff.
Exactly, which like the Silver Age more where it's more serious and gangsterish. The Cesar Romero is more the Golden Age where it's like more jokes and more
tricks. More of a more anarchist kind of just we're just doing it to do it.
Exactly. Where the Heath Ledger Joker is more
pure anarchist.
Exactly. More anarchy.
He's just doing it to continuously test Batman. He's doing it to trying to test people.
Trying to get Batman to cross the line that he won't cross. And then that's where Joaquin Phoenix comes in to bridge pretty much everything together.
Almost everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
I mean, he's a good bridge for everything.
Joker personas. Like, he's a very good catch-all for Jokers.
Yes. Where
he's got the psychosis, but then as the movie progresses, you see that he has that, mastermind intelligence working behind the scenes.
He's definitely thinking ahead.
He can look ahead and figure out how best to trip up his opponents ahead of time.
And for the most part, he does.
And he does.
Yeah.
He does a great job at that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I want to see this Joker kind of move on, but at the same time, I know this is just a standalone.
It's not going to happen because this is its own timeline. And the main timeline that DC is going to focus on is the Harley Quinn one, which has Jared Leto as the Joker. Which is sad.
I feel like DC is kind of breaking away from the continued storyline. I feel like they're going to do their Birds of Prey movie. They might do another Batman with Jared Leto.
No, they're going to do Birds of Prey. Then they're going to do Batman Year One, essentially. It's the one with Robert Pattinson. Which, seriously, if he gets that role, I'm so pissed.
He already has a role.
I'm so irritated.
Stop bitching.
No, I can't. He's not a good actor.
He is a good actor. You just have to see him in other things other than freaking Twilight.
And Harry Potter?
He was great in Harry Potter. Are you freaking kidding me? You didn't even watch Harry Potter.
Yes, I did. He was alright.
He was fine in that.
He died.
He died. He only had one movie to prove himself.
Anyway, he was also in that 9/11 movie, which was god-awful, by the way.
Okay, you can't blame the script on a freaking actor.
True. Anyway, I'm still going to see it. It's still going to happen.
We're going to see.
But we're going to see
any
anyway.
Batman movie, no matter what.
But anyway.
Because we love you.
That's right. We do it for you, good people. But anyway, that's how we end the video.
I guess we're going to end it right here.
Yeah.
So, here's to you.
Here's to me.
Friends for life we shall always be.
If by chance we don't disagree.
Screw you.
Here's to me.
I gotta pee.
Cheers!